Let's now return to a case that has shocked the country. The 14-year-old teenager who murdered his father, mother, and younger brother in the interior of Rio de Janeiro. A brutal crime that has gained yet another important chapter. The news revolves around a central figure in this story, the girl with whom the young man planned to meet in another state. And what has been discovered about her in the last few hours is, to say the least, disturbing. This teenager was interviewed by the police, and this really happened yesterday, in the afternoon, in the state of Mato Grosso. She gave a statement for about 2 hours, accompanied by her mother, and what most caught the attention of the investigators was the way she acted, completely cold, without showing any emotion. Now, the agents are trying to understand to what extent she was involved in this terrible crime. In addition to the statement, the police are also analyzing exchanges of messages between her and the boy from Itaperuna, and one thing has already been confirmed. She knew everything that was happening. During the weekend of the crime, the two spoke in real time. She was fully aware of what he had done. Even more shocking, they treated the murders as if they were part of a virtual game, as if the death of her parents and 3-year-old brother were not real, just a simulation, a game. According to what she said in her testimony, the two had been in a relationship for 6 years, that is, since she was 9 years old. They met online, playing on one of these online platforms, and the contact evolved into a relationship. After being questioned, the girl was released, but the entire conversation was recorded and will be forwarded to the authorities in Rio. The most striking thing about this interrogation, according to the police, was the coldness of this young woman, only 15 years old, very similar to that of the boy who remains detained here in Itaperuna. She said that she knew everything, that she followed every step of the tragedy, and did not react. She did not show any emotion. Can you imagine what this means? Each new revelation in this case seems more absurd than the last. We are talking about two teenagers who, according to them, have been together virtually for 6 years, since they were 9 years old. Did their parents have any idea of this relationship? We recently spoke with Police Chief Palumbo, who mentioned clear signs of psychopathy in the boy's behavior. Now, given what has been revealed about this girl, it is inevitable to question whether she does not also share the same type of emotional distortion. The two spoke about death as if they were playing a game. This is definitely not normal. The police chief was blunt. It is not normal and needs to be investigated thoroughly. It is a very serious case, and it serves as a warning. How many parents think that everything is fine when their child is locked in their room, in silence, for hours? The child or teenager does not want to go out to play, does not want to go to the park or meet their friends. They are there, glued to their cell phone or computer. And that is where the danger lies. Today, the risk is not only on the streets, it can be inside your own home, disguised behind a screen. I am not saying that parents are to blame, quite the opposite. They are the biggest victims of this tragedy. But it is essential that all guardians start paying more attention to the virtual worlds their children are immersed in. Today, there are tools that allow you to monitor who they talk to, what they watch, what they play. The risk often lies where you least expect it, and when you realize it, it may be too late. The images show the moment the teenager was apprehended. Since he is under 18, he will be tried in accordance with the provisions of the Child and Adolescent Statute. The young woman, in turn, was heard and released. However, there is a possibility that she will also be held responsible, especially if the police prove that she, in some way, encouraged or contributed to the crime. Chief Palumbo made it clear, if there is any sign of direct or indirect involvement by the girl, she could also be charged with the triple homicide. In addition, investigators are alert to the possibility of some psychological disorder involved. Because, let's face it, it is not at all common for a person to receive news of such a barbaric crime, talk to the perpetrator in real time, and, even so, react as if it were all part of some kind of game. This needs to be understood by the justice system, by families, and by society. We are facing a case that goes beyond the limits of understanding. A real tragedy that shows how the confusion between the virtual and real worlds can destroy lives irreversibly. Subscribe to the channel for more, and until next video.